and going live.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear us? For today's webinar, if you have any questions, please direct them to the question and answer box. We have our amazing support associate joining us as well, who will be able to answer the questions as we go. So I'll pass the mic over to Scott and Brianna for some introductions, and then we'll dive in.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for joining us today. We are so excited to meet and talk with you about how you can master doTERRA Social for this holiday season to make your life so much easier. We have some amazing content prepared for you today to help you see how to build your business with some of the great features that are in doTERRA Social to make it easier, stress-free, and not leave your business hanging while you're still trying to get turkey and Christmas and Hanukkah and all those wonderful things going on. So we appreciate everybody coming in today and talking with us. We're going to have, I can't advance the slides. Do you have that? There we go. I'm Scott Greer. I'm Senior Director of Marketing here at doTERRA and just want to thank you for being with us. We also have the wonderful Brianna Butters, who's our social media marketing specialist. She takes care of all these things for you on doTERRA Social and just puts her time, effort, and energy and love into helping make sure you get some great posts. And then we also have Raquel, and she's the amazing VP of Customer Success with Promo Republic, who is our partner that we do doTERRA Social with. And these two people help so much in the background to make sure that everything you get works perfectly. And so we're grateful for them taking the time today to do this. And today we will really want to talk about, ta-da, next slide, how to make a difference in the world with doTERRA Social and during this holiday season. I think it's just super important that we realize that everybody's busy, and how are we going to stand out on social media, and how are we going to use this tool to be able to build the business that way. So with no further ado, I want to turn some time over to these two lovely people to let them walk us through some of these pieces and see how we can do that.
Hey, awesome. Thank you, Scott. Like Scott had mentioned, the season is coming upon us, and it's a great time to reconnect with your audience, to encourage them, to engage more with your brand, to share the new holiday collection products that have just launched. It is a great time to share and to grow your business. So we're excited for doTERRA Social and how it can be a tool for you over the next couple of months.
Yeah, thank you. And I think when we're talking about how to make doTERRA Social work for you this holiday season, we also want to take a step back and make sure that we look at how people are shopping and spending their time prepping for the holidays. And as you can see here, social media is the #1 way that consumers are researching products, finding more information, looking for feedback. And social media is really the most effective channel for everybody for marketing what they do as a product or service, for attracting more customers, generating engagement, loyalty, and ultimately, hopefully driving sales or expanding that downline of yours. So social media is going to be a really valuable asset over the winter months for this.
Yeah, and we talked about this before, but something we just kind of want to bring up and make you guys aware of again is it's so important to just be your consistent, authentic, and creative self on social media. If you're wanting to be successful, that is one of our small tips. The key to success is just be yourself, be fun, be creative, and doTERRA Social is a great way for you to help with that. We have so many fun and creative assets for you guys to use. And then we also just have some marketing tips that we wanted to share with you. So the first one is tell your personal story. your audience is going to connect with you a lot better if they know who you are, they know more about you, know your background. You want to make sure to grow your exposure, get yourself out there, figure out how many different platforms you want to get on, how you can grow your presence to other people. And then the next one is to build and maintain relationships. It's very important on social media to connect with your audience, responding to their comments, to their questions, DMs, engaging them with your posts and stories. And then the next is educating on the products. And as wellness advocates, this is your main job, to educate your audience on all the products that you're sharing. And then finally, last one is to stay on top of your customers, stay on top of mind for your customers. So that's knowing what do they want to see right now, what interests them most this time of year. So right now it's like the holiday collection. What kind of content do they want to be seeing? Just always have them in mind before you do anything with your social media.
And how we do that on doTERRA Social is really from 4 key pillars. We have content in the platform. Brianna and I will go into content live in a walkthrough in a moment. You can schedule content and schedule as far into the future as your heart's content. You can get analytics. And I think this is a really underutilized aspect of the platform, because we want you to understand how your posts are performing. You can even compare last December to this December if you've been with us for a while, and see what works, what doesn't. And as you know, we do have our mobile app that can help you schedule and plan and upload and find content from your camera roll all on the go. So it's these 4 pillars that really make doTERRA Social a seamless part of the holiday season. And we also have a few tips as well to highlight how we can make it really, hopefully, painless this holiday season, because we know we're already going to be planning what we're going to eat and our holiday shopping, but you can also plan ahead to build your business. So first, when we're talking about planning ahead, it's not just what you're going to post, it's taking all of the steps to lead you to that content calendar. So we want to see the creation of a holiday social media schedule. In addition to the content, the calendar can be used to show you what platforms you have, to show you the variation and the exact date and time of publication. So having the schedule shown out in doTERRA Social is a really easy way to do this. So you can, as I said, utilize the analytics in the platform to look at previous postings that you've had, see what worked and what resonated with your audience, and create this strategy. And within the content library, which we'll go into in quite a lot of detail today, there's a lot of holiday content, and we want you to add your personal touch on it. So when you couple looking back at the past year, looking at your analytics, looking at the products that are on showcase right now, coupled with what your personal goals are and your personal brand on social media, will help you really exceed expectations when it comes to holiday planning. And when you set and forget this ahead of time, you can focus on what you love to do in the holiday season. When we're talking about preparing a social media calendar and what you need to do ahead of time, it can be a few things. As you know, doTERRA curates monthly content for you directly in your calendar. So it can be as simple and effortless as approving everything for the month. But there are a few other things to include as well. So you want to take a look at what your goals are for the holiday season. If it's to maximize the product exposure and attribution, which we'll talk to in a moment, you can set those goals and intentions ahead of time. Then you can emphasize everything with amazing content and visuals in both your posts and stories, because that's another new feature that you can do directly in the platform. You can create a really fun advent calendar and get really creative with different types of social media planning and countdowns and things along those lines. Don't forget to use hashtags. We know hashtags have evolved over time. It used to be the first comment of hashtags, and now the hashtags have reduced, and especially in Instagram, the SEO of everything is now more taken from the caption as opposed to hashtags. So really be purposeful with what you're typing in your caption and the hashtags you're utilizing. And don't, as I said before, don't be afraid to get creative with it and fun with it. Tease content, tease different calls to actions, and encourage your followers to really buy into you and that personal brand. And we've seen that, you know, if we take a look at marketing in general, 85% of consumers are finding user generated content, so lifestyle content, real photos that you're taking, to be more authentic than brand stylized photos. So don't hesitate to mix in your story and your why behind doTERRA, because the people are following you are wanting to understand your message and how you're doing what you do.
Hey, awesome. And before we kind of dive deep into some of our recent updates, which some of you guys may be aware of and some of you might not know about yet, we kind of just wanted to talk about some 4 main things that your followers are using social media to do. So the first is to discover new brands and products. Social media is a great way for, you know, people to come find you, and that is what they're doing on social media, is they're trying to find new brands and products, and maybe they're looking for those natural solutions. The second one is they are researching product features and reviews. So once they find the product they're interested in, they're wanting to learn more about it. They're wanting to see how it's affected other people, how it can affect them. And then that leads to the buying decision. So you have a great impact on them to buy your product, to buy, you know, if you're selling doTERRA essential oils. And then the last one is they love to ask questions and they lodge complaints. So social media is a great way for you to help answer those questions and to help with all their complaints that they may have. So now we are going to kind of introduce our.
Can I throw in one little thing about just marketing in general? Because I
Yeah,
just
please. Yeah.
and you guys are saying some stuff, and I just want to make sure I throw in some pieces. I have a saying that I like to use for social media specifically, but people come for content and then they stay for character. And so what you want to be doing is giving some great educational value, maybe some entertainment, maybe some inspiration. And then the character engages the relatability or the trust and credibility piece to it. So, and they also feel part of the community. You probably know people that you follow on social that you just feel like, I know that person. In fact, I used to be a social media influencer, and one of my big first events I went to, I had somebody run up and they knew me and they were talking to me about all this stuff. Like we had known each other for years. And it struck me how strong this bond was. And I had never met the person. And it was just crazy to me that they felt like they were so much a part of my life. And it really gave me a new perspective on the power of this. So, you know, there's some ways that character can differentiate you on social. And so just make sure that you either have an emotional connection or you know, have your unique identity come out, because I think there's a lot of people talking about essential oils and we have a bunch of great content that's prepared for you. But I think what we're also saying is you want to inject a little bit of yourself in that so that people can stick. Anyway, that's my rant. And I thank you for letting me jump in and say that really quickly.
Yes, thank you. So now we'll kind of dive into our big new updates that we've made recently on doTERRA Social. And Raquel will kick us off with the first one.
Absolutely. So one of the big pieces of feedback that we received from fellow wellness advocates such as yourself is that you wanted more ways to share content. So we've recently partnered with TikTok, so you can schedule TikToks directly from the platform with just a few clicks. And the best part is, as you know, Scott and Brianna mentioned, there's a lot of content in doTERRA Social, and some of that is short form video content that's optimized for TikTok and Reels. So you can find that in the platform and start sharing on TikTok right away if you haven't discovered this already.
Yes, and then our second update that we have recently launched is AI Composer within doTERRA Social. So many of you might be familiar with ChatGPT and that awesome feature. And so now that is available in doTERRA Social. So when we do our platform walkthrough, we'll show you where you can find this new tool. But just briefly, it's when you're writing the caption or when you're editing the caption, you'll see a magic wand icon to the right side, and that, if you click that, will bring up the ChatGPT, and it allows you to put in the tone that you're looking for, any detailed information you want included in the caption, things like that. It's really awesome. It helps, if you're not super creative with captions, this is a great tool to help you become better at that. So we're excited for that one.
Yeah. And then going along with more types of formats of scheduling, we just addressed TikTok, and now we also want to highlight Instagram stories. Instagram stories are a really great aspect to use because we know that stories and DMs are where most activity is happening on Instagram. So there's also exclusive content every month that you'll only find in doTERRA Social, story formatted. So not only can you post to stories, but there are stories ready to go for your customization directly in the platform. So definitely everything you see on this screen, we will touch upon so you can learn about it when we do our live overview. But Instagram stories is one of our latest features that we're really excited about.
Yes. And then our fourth one we wanted to talk to you guys about is the option to now have custom video thumbnails. So you have the option to either upload your own thumbnail if you wanted to create it beforehand, or if you wanted to grab a specific clip from the video to make your thumbnail, you also have that option. This just also helps, like we talked about earlier, with your branding, with the type of audience you're trying to reach out to on your social media, how to connect with them. This allows you to kind of choose what you want to choose for your audience, and make your videos and reels more exciting.
And the fifth thing that we released very recently is cross time zone posting. Now, this is a really interesting feature because this enables you to post either, at 9 a.m. on a fixed time, and it'll go live at 9 a.m. where you are across all of your pages. Or let's say you have downlines around the world and you want to post to different groups at different times, whatever that time is in their native time zone. So if I'm in New York, 9 a.m. Eastern works for me, but that's 6 a.m. Pacific. So that's not, the best time to be posting on social media. So I can set it up so it'll go 9 a.m. on every time zone that I'm posting to, which is really great when you're posting to a multicultural or a diverse portfolio. Now to go over our last feature, I want to invite Scott back in because I know this was one of the biggest things that we launched over the summer, and I don't think it gets enough hype.
Totally. I 1,000% agree. So one of the big benefits of doTERRA Social is whenever you put a link back to doTERRA.com, so if someone's clicking something to come back to the website, you get attribution, which means you don't have to add anything special. You don't have to go to link generator. It's all baked into the URL that's built by doTERRA Social for you. And so post away, direct them back to the site. It can be a blog post that you're sending them to. It could be a product page. It could be anywhere on the site. As long as it's going to doTERRA.com, you get attribution. And it's an amazing feature, meaning attribution at the company just means that you get credit. If anybody clicks on that post and enrolls, you're the person that they're unrolling under. If anybody clicks on a post and buys something that is in your downline, you're getting that credit already, but it just helps you so that you can have a broader reach without having to do a bunch of like, oh, wait, call me before you sign up or anything like that. Like you can definitely get them to do that. So this is an amazing feature. And we're so thankful that Raquel's team was able to pull this off because this is a huge benefit. And I just want to just reiterate that. Can I say one thing about cross time zone posting real quick? We just had an experience this last week here at doTERRA. We're constantly trying different things on our own social media. And we had one of our people that's over Instagram. She actually started posting at different times, and we got double the impressions that we would normally get by just trying a different timeline and a different time of the day to post. So timing can be one of those things that you can mess around with and have a massive impact. But these are some amazing feature releases that we've had, and let's go more into what we're doing with them. Okay.
Absolutely. So now that you've seen everything new that we've done, we did want to spend some time going back to basics and highlighting how to use doTERRA Social for those of you that may be new, and I see by some of the questions popping up, we may have some people just familiarizing themselves with doTERRA Social, which we absolutely love. So welcome on your journey with us. So to summarize at a high level, doTERRA Social is a tool that is custom built for doTERRA wellness advocates. This combines the key features that you see on the screen, plus obviously everything we just discussed as our new features and so much more, which I'll walk you through one-on-one. When we're talking about content, you'll find thousands of images, templates, videos, articles already loaded in the platform for you to choose from. So if you're new to selling doTERRA, you can not be intimidated. It's really easy to get started. So we'll deep dive into the library. Not only are we an entire library of custom and editable doTERRA content, you can schedule content ahead of time. You can customize absolutely everything. So you can think of like Canva plus an asset library plus a scheduler all in one. It's really this tool that's specifically built for you and to help. So with that, we can dive into the platform itself and to see how it works. And as a reminder, any questions you ask will always come to at the end if not answered by support. So keep them coming. So the first question we do get quite often is, where does doTERRA Social live? And that's a very easy one. As you can see on my screen, it's going to be social.doterra.com. So I will put a screen that you can screenshot towards the end that has all of the information that you would like to look for. So you can bookmark that, save it, social.doterra.com. Now, as a wellness advocate, all you have to do to log in is click continue with doTERRA login. And when you do that, the way you sign in is by entering your doTERRA wellness advocate ID, and then you're off to the races. I'm going to log in my demo account today, and then we'll dive through everything else. So once you've logged in, the first step that you're going to do is connect your social media pages. Briefly, as an overview here, we work with Facebook business pages and Facebook groups. Then we have Twitter. Instagram personal is here. However, we actually recommend and advocate for using Instagram business pages, because when you're using Instagram business pages through doTERRA Social, this unlocks the features like analytics, Instagram story posting, reels posting, grid posting, etc. Whereas Instagram personal is much more limited, and you would have to rely on our companion mobile app for this. We also support LinkedIn, Pinterest boards, Google profiles, and TikTok, as we just discussed, as our latest release. So that's the first callback, so to speak, of one of our new features that we have here. And it's really easy to connect your pages. You want to make sure you're logged into the browser with the right social accounts, and all you have to do is click connect and then go through the few steps, and then you're good to go. So within my platform, on the left-hand side here in the calendar, you'll see all of the pages that you have associated with your account. In this case, I have 2 Facebook pages and 1 Instagram business page here, and I'll go through them as we go. Now, spending time with the calendar, the first thing you'll see is amazing doTERRA content already in my calendar. And the really great thing about that is when you have your pages connected to the platform, every month you'll receive brand new content exclusively made for doTERRA Social, suggested for your use. And we say suggested because it's not mandatory at all. These are your social channels, and you are ultimately the curator of what you're doing. So with the content that you find for approval, you can simply approve it if you absolutely want to post it. And that's helpful at, times of the month, like BOGOs or special events or sale that you definitely want to post relevant and time relevant content. So in that case, I just simply click approve, and this post will now be scheduled at 5:45, and it'll go out. And a really important note is this will not post. So none of this content will post unless I physically click approve. So you don't have to worry about it. If you don't want to use it, you can ignore it, or you can rearrange it. So like we said, you're in charge of your calendar. So it's as simple as dragging and dropping to rearrange a few things to make sure the content is flowing in the way that you want. Or on top of that, you can edit the content further. So when you click edit, you can edit the caption, so you can customize it and personalize it to make it yours. Or if we have, as we talked about, one of our new releases is our Chat GPT integration. You'll see this magic wand and I can click rewrite and that will rewrite the caption and you can see it changed it, or I can type in my own prompt to generate a new caption here, or type that yourself. You can also edit the image further if you'd like to do that as well, coming into our graphics editor. I will spend much more time in a moment going over the graphics editor, but those are all of the different areas that you have to utilize within our platform here. So this is really great because we have content ready for you. So whether you're just starting out or a pro, you can always find something relevant to the promotions, time of year, etc., already loaded in your calendar. Now, to go over the rest of the calendar, I'm going to go into my next week and start off a blank slate and walk you through some of the features that we have in the platform. The first thing you'll notice in the blank calendar are these time slots. So these are really helpful and useful if you're scheduling a lot of posts in one sitting, and I'll come back to that in a moment. But the time slots calculate your page's time zone to figure the best posting times to yield maximum engagement. And as Scott said earlier, by tweaking and changing the times that you're posting, you can get different results on social. So if you like what it automatically suggests for you, you can leave it. Otherwise, you can select edit content plan and either remove time slots, add more time slots, or rename anything. So if I wanted to post a image of how I'm using an oil, a recipe the next day, a blog, a video, etc. So I know what I'm posting. If we, think about what we discussed today about planning ahead for the holidays to make it easier on yourself, this is a really great way to do that. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to keep the time slots that we have here, and I'll come back to these when we're talking about scheduling content. Within the calendar as well, we have a few fun things. We have the upcoming events calendar. So if you're ever stumped on what to post, or if you want to make sure you're getting all of the holidays correct, we have this here. This is a summary of the top national registered days in pop culture history, sports history, world history, etc., mainly around the US calendar. But it is global as well. And you can see if I want to, post next week because it's Thanksgiving, I know that that's there as well, as we can see on the 23rd, or we want to have a post on Black Friday. So this is just an idea point, and then you can go into the editor to build your own post, or you can go find some content into the library to find anything that's relevant for you. Within the calendar as well, you can toggle between weekly or monthly view. You can, as I mentioned, schedule as far into the future as you'd like, or focus on week by week. And if you're not a fan of the time slots, not a problem. You can turn these off right here. And now you're on your merry way posting with what works best for you. But as mentioned, I'm keen to show you how this works in reality. So we'll keep this here, and now we're going to dive into the next aspect, which is, I think, the backbone of doTERRA Social, which is the content section. You'll notice there's 3 areas here. First, we have the post ideas library, which is going to be your nonstop conglomerate of content. It's broken down by market. So for today, we're going to focus on the United States. And I'll invite Brianna back in to give us an overview of some of the content in here before diving into some of the templates.
Yeah, awesome. So like Raquel has said, we have so many different folders available for you to use. And as always, the most relevant information will be put to the top. So as you see in the United States folder, we have all of the new holiday products. We got a lot of requests to add some more, so we have been adding more. as we go. And I know some of the products have sold out, but we are constantly still trying to add more for you guys so you guys can share the new collection. And then we also have a lot of the new convention products. So that is the folder just above the holiday collection. With all the new product launches, this folder is great for sharing all the new products. We have tons about Harvest Spice if you're still interested in sharing that for November. We have the Refer a Friend program that is still ongoing. And then underneath that is where you will find all the monthly templates. Every month we add 60 pieces of new content. So that is split between posts and stories. So you can go into each month and all the monthly promos will be inside, and anything relevant to that specific month will be found in that folder. And then we have a bunch of other folders as well. We got some reels, we have some recipes, some diffuser blends. So kind of, if you have some time, take some time to explore the different folders, see what we have available for you. And yeah, tons of fun things to use. They're always getting updated. So make sure to always just refresh and go in and check.
Thank you, Brianna. But yes, as Brianna said, I strongly encourage anyone that's new to doTERRA Social to genuinely spend 5-10 minutes just looking at how everything's structured and what's in here, because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of different templates and ideas in here for you to utilize. And as you can see, I'm still scrolling down and there's story covers. Obviously, these are fun areas that you can create those covers on Instagram. We have different product folders that each, top product has their own folder. And this is not just images, it's articles, it's videos. There's so much content in here. And it's really diverse. So if you wanted to share background information and education, because we talked about the different type of content that's really going to resonate with your audience, you can find all of that here. So we strongly encourage you, like we said, to spend time here. But a really great way, once you are familiar with this, is to find the posts that are working for you. So how this is utilized is I'm going to use a image. So let's say this is the one that I'd like to post. How you're going to post is really easy. Again, you can edit the caption. A lot of the templates do come with captions. So you can edit that, or you can have ChatGPT rewrite that for you. We have the image here itself. If I love the image as it is, there's no further action. But if you have your own personal branding or colors or whatever that may be that you want to change, you can edit that. You can see every aspect of our monthly templates are 100% editable, because as Scott said, we want you to put your personal touch on everything that's in here, because it's your social media, it's your story, it's your why behind doTERRA. So you can edit this and change the colors, or do whatever you'd like here. So once you have the image looking exactly like what you'd want, then comes the scheduling options. So I'm going to just schedule to one Facebook page, but you could also schedule to multiple pages at once. You can choose whether you want something as a story or not. But I'm just going to schedule to Facebook right now. And then you have your scheduling options on the right-hand side. So when I click schedule, you're choosing a specific date and time for this post to go out. I'm going to choose Monday, and I'm not going to repeat. And here you can see what we talked about, choosing that time zone of your page. When you select multiple pages, that's when this feature becomes available. So we'll schedule another post in a moment and go through that. I did see a question pop up about compliance, so I did want to spend some time on this. All captions that are already loaded in the asset library are approved and compliant. The doTERRA headquarters team, so Brianna and her amazing team of writers, are making sure that it's good to go. This filter here flags all quote unquote red list keywords that are not appropriate for social and flags it. In this case, treat. However, context is really important because we're not saying this treats something, we're saying treat yourself this holiday season. So that's how this compliance feature is utilized. So since I see this, I have the option of editing the post itself if I want to change the wording and to take out treat, or I can schedule this because I know the context in which treat is here in this case, and I'm able to continue and have this post scheduled. So what we're going to do now is actually click new post because I'm going to show you a few other posting features. So not only is the value of doTERRA Social all of the amazing content there, but you can create your own image from the editor, which we'll go into in a moment, or you can upload your own photos, videos, or GIFs, which are all directly here. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to come in here and steal some templates and use, and this was a really great one, and I'm glad I chose it because it has a link. So we're going to talk about attribution for a moment. So because now I'm sharing a post with a link, when we see this in our calendar, the attribution is automatically going to be added onto it. So you're not going to see it when you're commenting or creating your caption right now. But if I schedule this for my date and time, I schedule a post and I view this in my calendar, then you can see that these parameters have been added to the end of the link. And this is exactly the attribution working in real time. So we've actually had some feedback before that shortening the link doesn't shorten these attributes. And that is on purpose. We want to make sure that these attributes are at the end of every URL so you can get the credit. So we kindly ask you not to delete it because then you won't get that credit for the posts. So just like Scott said, attribution is an amazing piece that's making doTERRA Social work for you with minimal effort. This link generation is really revolutionary. Just by posting any doTERRA link, now you're going to get credit for that. So that is that, and you can see these two posts back to back, what we just scheduled. Now, diving into the library once again to use another image, just very briefly, add to queue or publish now. When you publish now, that goes out immediately. So if I pick publish now, it is going to go out 12:37 in New York, where I am right now. So that is immediate. Add to queue, this brings it full circle to those next available time slots. So if I'm scheduling in bulk by just add to queue, new post, uploading one, finding one, add to queue, new post. If I view that in my calendar, you can see all of the next time slots that I have are now filled. So that one is filled, this one is filled, because those are my next time slots. And if I continued in that method, your calendar would be full really easily. It takes the guesswork out of when you have to post. You can, as you can see, I just scheduled 3 posts in like 3 seconds. So by utilizing add to queue, you can always just post a lot of content very quickly. So that is a really great aspect. Yeah, so that's about posting. Now going into the graphics editor, let's take maybe one of the templates from our November post that we can add our personal spin on. So I'm going to use this one. So our graphics editor is really robust. Starting out with a post, you'll notice that different elements are editable. So like we said, if you have color schemes, that is your personal brand that you want to still control on your socials, use it and change it. In terms of the post, we can change a post to a story or really any other sizing formats. You can enter your own sizing formats and to make sure that you're posting the right content and relevant for the different platforms you're posting to. Going over the left-hand side, we have backgrounds. So this is really important to note that this is not doTERRA content, but this is a conglomerate of different photo stocks. So if you're going to Google and we're typing in mint, for example, or peppermint, because I love utilizing that around this time, that technically, if I'm going to Google and typing that, it's not licensed for me to use because you're technically utilizing someone else's image. But in here, all of these images, and there's so many, are fully licensed and ready for your use. So what that means is if I'm starting out from a blank slate and I'm wanting to have a background, I now can have something that is fully ready and licensed and I'm good to go. And then the best part is the objects. So you're coupling a background image with all content in here. So if I want to find a single oil and I'm going to search for peppermints, which is here, I can simply drag and drop it in and create my amazing post all about peppermint, add text, add captions. I can add some logos, stickers, etc. You'll see all of that here to make your content really amazing and shine. So this is obviously a 30-second whip up, so it's not going to be the best, but you can get the idea of this. You can add text on top and you can add your fonts, your colors. You can save whatever you like here and style. So like we said, if I only like posting in, let's say, blue tones, because that's what I've created as my personal brand. And if you've taken the doTERRA Social Media Academy course, there is a section in there which does talk about, identifying what your personal brand is. You can save your exact fonts and your colors into the platform. So when you have that, you don't have to scroll down a list to find your ideal font. You can upload that and save it here. And your colors are going to be at the top ready to go. So that's a really important piece of how to utilize the editor. And lastly, you can upload any content you want. So we spoke about the really important aspect of adding your personal branding and style to the platform. So when you're taking photos, whether it's on your phone or whatever that may be, of how you're utilizing any doTERRA product, you can upload it here. So now maybe that's the background or that's the main subject of your photos. Or if we're talking about how we're utilizing these images, let's say I do actually want to highlight how I'm utilizing clove, but I want to use a photo of myself utilizing the clove. That's how you can add these personal touches, but still carry the theme of the doTERRA products of the month through your content. So a lot of options for you to personalize absolutely everything in here. So that is the editor. The My Ideas section is think of it as your own mini drive. So let's say I'm in the library and I know I love content, but I don't want to post it right now. You can bookmark it and save it to your My Ideas library. And then it's there for you to utilize at a later date. So you can find all of this here. Moving on to analytics. So I am in a demo environment, so there is nothing here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into our other account so you can see how we are performing on social, which in honesty is not so well because we're not utilizing Facebook for our social media needs. So you're really getting an under the hood view of what we do at Promo Republic. So as I highlighted earlier, you can look back if you want to go back to last December, see what you were doing on social and see what worked. You can do that to see by changing the time frame here, you can go back and check. But it's also important to see how your content's doing now. If you're not growing at a rate that you'd like, you can see what's happening on your social to make those changes. If you're ever wondering what a aspect is in our reporting, we have these tooltips on every single module here for you to understand what these numbers mean. And my favorite part about our social media analytics is the demographics. So you're able to understand the age distribution, the gender distribution, city and country distribution, because maybe you want to keep your languages different and varied that you didn't know. You could create a new page for maybe just Spanish speaking content if you didn't know you had such a Spanish reaching audience, Spanish speaking audience. And if you go into content, this is where it's really great because the more that you use the platform, the more that this will light up and will show you really what the best time for you to post to get those maximum results. So the more that you post through the platform, the better it is for you. I know we covered a lot and we really did kind of rush through everything because there's just so much. But not only did we cover all of the new features that we have within the platform, what we showed you is the basics of how to get started with doTERRA Social. So again, just to summarize, it is this never-ending content repository. You can schedule content as far into the future of your life, which is really helpful when you're planning for the holidays. You can customize absolutely anything and create your own posts and upload your own content and see how it performs. So as promised, I'm coming here with the screenshot that you can take with all of our resources. So again, doTERRA Social lives at social.doterra.com. Our support team, and many of you have interacted with our amazing support agent today, Zoe. She is reachable at doTERRA@promorepublic.com. Our landing page is amazing if you haven't found it already. This is where you can learn all about doTERRA Social and get more. All of our webinars will be here into the future that you can sign up with, plus all of our past webinars as well. Whether you want a overview of our features or the different products that or different sections that we've done, we have all of our past webinars. If you don't want to sit through, let's say, an hour or so of content, not a problem, because we have the top tips on how to get started with doTERRA Social in 2-minute bites. So if you just want how to understand the suggested posts, we have a video for that. If you just want to understand the graphics editor, we have a video for that. So this is all about how to get started. And of course, we also have some information here about the Social Media Academy, which is a really great resource to just learn the basics of not only social media, but doTERRA Social in general. So this is our landing page. So definitely recommend bookmarking that as well. Our help center. So if you ever want to reach out to our support team, this lovely doTERRA O at the bottom, you can send us a message and we'll respond right away. Or we have a help center here. So if you want to connect to a Facebook group and you forgot what that second step is, you come in here and have a full overview. That same help center is reached at help.promorepublic.com. And last but not least, we have our doTERRA Social community on Facebook. It is an amazing resource where you can get peer-to-peer help. You can stay up to date with our latest news. All of the content reminders are there at the first of the month, webinar reminders, new features, etc. So you have all of that at your fingertips. And at this stage, I'd love to invite both Brianna and Scott in for any closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Raquel, and your team for helping with all those questions, and for Scott for joining us today. I see a lot of people asking about the recording, and so yes, this has been recorded, and we will be sending out a link to those who were registered for this webinar, as well as posting it to our Facebook group. So if you're not a part of our Facebook group, you can go ahead and find that. And then the third place we always upload it to is the doTERRA Business YouTube channel. So all three of those resources will have the link to this recording, so you can send it to your team if they missed it or if you want to rewatch it. But we appreciate everyone for joining, and we hope you guys learned something new, and look forward to helping you and hearing from you guys soon. So thank you guys for all joining us today.
And can I just say, we're so grateful to have amazing wellness advocates like yourselves using these platforms. We are trying to help you build your business as easily as possible with the tools that you can get for as cheap as possible. And I just really want to thank Raquel and her team and Brianna for doing this for you. And, you know, they're always here to help, and we'd love to make sure that you get the most out of all these tools because they're here for you in building your business. But without further ado, I'm just grateful for everybody coming, and thank you to everybody for being here today. And we'll just sign off at this point. So thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Hashtag we love you from doTERRA. Okay. See ya.
Bye.